540 status.
Control 139 traffic stop. Hello, 50 at 6 North. Point Frank 39881. Point Frank 39881, it's a silver Ford.
Sherman reported some missing out of Chicago.
There, a female Biden supporter have pleaded guilty to a hate crime related to an attack on Trump supporters. The case stems from an incident.
Maybe not.
Physically assaulted a group of Trump supporters and even grabbed the MAGA hat off of one of the child's head. The story is getting much notice in the liberal media for reasons that should be obvious. Biden supporters Cameron Amy and Olivia Winslow pleaded guilty to theft, child endangerment, and hate crimes for the incident. Other charges of attempted assault, attempted assault, and conspiracy that are levied against the pair were dropped in a plea bargain process, which had been formalized on Monday. The two women are now awaiting sentencing, which should take place sometime in September of 2021. According to the New York Post, the video of the incident uploaded by Students for Trump on August 20th of 2020, which led to the two women's arrest and conviction, went viral worldwide, eventually passing the 5 million view mark.
Mulberry, Skylar Mulberry, 1017's in a blue Toyota Highlander. Driver gold Cadillac was chasing him, saying they were going to shoot him. No weapon was displayed, under state trial court. There's a citizen trying to keep an eye on him for me.
November 13/316 East 6 line for over it.
Work with her. We'll be back in service. I'm looking at the scanner.
The 1017 for the it's right.
It's so hard to watch. Oh boy. Fine. Looks like this picture here, we're gonna shed a few tears. Some more shots. Parents of these two must be so proud. It's good to know we now finally have the answer.
Okay, I don't think you should return it.
See what the Madison Network. Thank you for watching that report. Our confidence levels, feelings of self-worth, and healing from life is directly tied to our appearance. The solution I found goes beneath the surface to promote skin elasticity and the overall appearance of my skin. It's called ageless multi.
A rack on 195 West Basin.
7. Symmetric.
291 Miss 388 North Roy, apartment 2, spoke to jail, turned on connection, no problem.
Are we getting this to go? Joy Mills still available.
Go ahead.
Frank and Mary C. Charles Union 3-1 X-ray 8 KT Edward 29331. You can also put that in the call, please. Can't commence 48 extra patrol.
Okay, go ahead.
36893. Clear, go ahead, sir.
What do you want? For 911 right. Go ahead. Last name Stewart, first name Stanley, date of birth 5/4/1916. Middle initial. Negative. After P, write the plate also. Illinois license 573-0295.
Online students TC receive homework.
Or around it.
That 17's at the rest auto.
New York City legalize electric bikes.
Okay, back to 23.
That's 23.
I'll be on 8806 north, 2250 west road.
10-4, 8806 north, 2250 west. What do you want to do?
Alarm. We did have a power outage in town though.
10-4.
How's it going, YouTube? I am back. So bring me a daily dose of stupidity, ridiculousness, and just outright boring. If you are, then you're in the right place. So you're covered. So we're going to be specifically talking about these teachers gone woke, gone wild and woke, and it's just ridiculous. But we're going to talk about that.
39
This
to
is
that.
the main topic. We'll get other topics first before we get there. But as I always say, first up, if you haven't subscribed or resubscribed, help us
It does state that he's still prohibited from open services towards children
But
under the age of 18, which includes schools or public.
But as I always say, don't contact them in the video, just have a laugh. You don't take it too seriously. Apart from that teacher bit, you have to take that very seriously. We're going to start here with this. This is disturbing footage here. There's on train tracks there. I don't know if you've seen this before, but prepare yourself to shock. Standing for a train, look at that. Can you get out of the way in time? Can't believe I'm showing this on YouTube. You worried there for a second, weren't you?
Well,
This guy is going to eat it in front of that train. I thought the same thing. So speaking about lockdowns in Australia, this is pretty much what kids are thinking during the
The
lockdown.
large educational facility with flooring, something short from 3 sides.
Mums are pissed.
No evacuation. I'll be out investigating.
That shit at DIY, you can wipe your ass with newspaper. Lesson for the whole family in this lockdown. And now we have one of the dumbest tweets I think I've ever seen from Stella Parson. It's in relation to Dolly Parton. Don't you find it odd that women in America are being treated worse than women in Afghanistan? We've wasted $2 trillion plus to go to Afghanistan to liberate their women and children. Something ain't right here, folks. Are you
He's
catching on?
really 46 is on Steve.
I don't think anyone with a brain is catching on to this line of thinking here because this is absolutely nuts.
Hello, 45, I'll be on CGCHS.
Are the women in Afghanistan treated the same as the women in the US? The most privileged society on the face of the earth. You think there's a comparison to be made there? You bloody idiots. You're a dumbass. You're doing this. You're family name with disrespect. You're thinking about something this mind-numbingly stupid. I mean, God, if people are this dumb, how can we expect to progress? No. Speaking of not progressing, look, this is from the New York Times, the New York Post. I liked it. The smell of it, the touch of metal on my skin. It's fantastic. We've talked about this guy in the past, and he married this this donkey, right? Well, now his infatuation has switched. Infamous man who married his sex doll is in love with Ashtray now. So he's fallen for the Ashtray. You know me, everybody, right? What the hell? Look, adults can do what they want to do, okay? As long as people are pushing stuff on kids,
Renee,
you can do what you want. As long as it's within the law, I don't know if that's within the law of marrying an ashtray or doing whatever with an ashtray. But that's what's going on.
I don't know if you walked or left in a
Let's go to
vehicle.
Australia.
Lives in Bourbonnais.
Here. We've got the police here, up there,
Wrong connecting.
they're on full work here, full LGBTQ plus ABCD LMNOP. There's there on the end. Cops imposing brutal lockdown in Sydney's west. I caught throwing their party at their police station for LGBTQIA awareness. That's right. Harsh lockdown on the general public, but they can have their fancy little party here, the LGBTQ party. Oh, it wasn't so serious. But it's still fun.
Can't come.
Let's not get carried away.
Go ahead.
Lockdowns
There's
can't.
temporary set of call pending for two motorcycles driving reckless Kennedy and Wilson. They're westbound on Court now. Red motorcycle and a blue motorcycle.
Like here again. Let's go for all Europe. You asked Ford to make
Get out of possession.
gay rap.
Save my head for the hospital.
Okay.
Our real-life version made its debut at Cologne 5 last week.
Please request an agency service. Technology drive. Include an IV.
Getting duty fuel now, you know.
Speaking of these communities, so this PhD asked this question on Twitter. How many genders are there? Hint, choosing the first option is literally a hate crime. So how did it go? So how many genders are there? 2, 60, 75 to 100 infants. And the right answer was 2, because there are only 2 genders. Everything else is just people living in a fantasy world or they have a mental illness. And 86% of people out there were right on the money. They get a gold star. And all these other people could just suck an egg. Now
The alarm was caused by the power outage. It reset when that power came back on. I got paperwork and service returning.
Back in the day when we were young, we used to make fun of high school kids. That's just the way it was. Right? You denied it? I did it.
Down west, 4750 North Road, 28 Boy Henry, 89062. Boy Henry, 89062 is away. Ford.
Should be considered. So from Christopher Rupert,
7 West 4750 North, Runaway 4.
theory and classroom indoctrination. In the past 24 hours, school districts
Yeah,
have
constant
suspended
searching.
teachers for promoting Antifa ideology and another for having students pledge allegiance
Outage
to the
fire,
pride
fire.
flag. It's just the beginning. And here are the 2 individuals right here. We've talked about her already. She's got the boost. I'm not sure if she's quiet. She's just out of the classroom, that's it, which is a good step. And this guy here is the one we're talking about. Look, this guy back. So these were in his classroom.
Say that patient left Riverside about 20 minutes ago now.
North of the house there. Looking for a shoe, but contact them. They're going to track it out for them and call back in about 10 minutes. See if he has any information.
In a Project Veritas report released on Tuesday, they
Yes, I was just at 2250. I had one to a female after was there. No service.
the bluntly indoctrinated kids and stating that he's turning his students into revolutionaries.
And 6 times 6.
There's the clown right there. In an undercover interview with a Project Veritas reporter, Ggggf revealed that his intention is to radicalize students with Marxist ideas, giving them extra credit for students that go to protests and community events. Quote, I have 180 days to turn them, students, into revolutionaries.
Wait, how many papers do you serve him?
Get that. Well, listen to this. Ggggf said that a student had anonymously stated on an end-of-year questionnaire that the Antifa flag in Ggggf's classroom made him uncomfortable. Quote, I have an Antifa flag on my classroom wall, and a student complained about it. He said it made him feel uncomfortable. Well, this Antifa flag is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know what to tell you.
Yeah, they want.
Maybe you shouldn't be aligned with the values that this Antifa flag is antithetical to, end quote. And people say, oh, you know, you're just making it up, you know, just crazy, what, alt-righters. No, every common sense would not want someone who's taking abuse. The goal is to make people extremely
Can't come over, right?
That's this guy's goal. He's stating it right here. The fact that these people like him can't separate, you know, their job from their political beliefs like this, it's absolutely nuts. Get the piss out. Ah, sticky ass.
Here you come. Caleb.
Okay, Lemon.
It's not as Scott was saying.
We're on together. This business up there, calling up there.
I hate to pick on the teacher feeling again. I didn't at the beginning of the show, but I do feel compelled to pick on the teacher feeling. This is a later day show. Hey, Pablo, why don't they just teach? And why don't they teach traditional curriculum? Seriously, instead of ruining the minds of these young kids that are going to be the future workforce, I mean, we're doing a later day show. What's wrong with this?
Well, first, Larry, I would say that picking on them is far too high. And they need to be held accountable and they need to be disintegrated because they have ruined the future of so many children, especially in the inner cities. But to answer your question about why the teachers aren't teaching important things like math and science and reading, it's because these teachers unions are political vehicles. They're not places where teachers are interested in the future of the country. These are the types of people who are on the far left who don't believe in the future labor force. They believe in the government sending out checks and having universal income. They believe in developing activists in the classroom, which we see all the time, especially with COVID and all these Zoom videos and home teaching and parents seeing what their schools are being taught. They don't believe in necessarily a future labor force with capitalism. They believe in things like Karl Marx and Che Guevara and Chairman Mao. And that is, completely the opposite of what our system stands for in the current economic system that we have in this country.
Reggie's right. I know it's true. I know what he said is true. When did this start? First question. And this crazy left-wing critical race theory movement. And the second point, Mercy, is aren't the teachers, the public schools are losing, right? They're losing to Catholic schools, religious schools, homeschooling, and so forth. I think competition is starting to work in this.
Well, first of all, when it started, I think you've seen the leftist.
I'm pretty sure if you follow Enter the Test and just laying on the seat.
To the left when they're endorsing mostly Democrat political candidates. They don't like this idea of school choice. Let's remember when we're talking about school choice and educational freedom, freedom to run through benefits of the blacks and Hispanics and low-income students, and they don't like that. They want to have ultimate control of the child. And I've got to tell you something. One thing, and there's not a lot of positives that have come out of COVID.
Thanks, Charlie.
One thing that it did do is that it did wake up the parents. The parents started to realize, wait a second, what are they doing? What are they teaching my child? You've seen areas, for example, in the state of Virginia, Loudoun County, parents that were never politically involved, showing up to the school board meetings, basically getting signatures to recall school board members, and no notice in front of first time that local elections matter, that state elections matter. And so it's why you're seeing the fact that instead of these teachers focusing on critical race theory, which is destructive and divides us, they should be focusing on math, on science, on reading. We're seeing a huge learning loss because of COVID, at least 6.8 months of this. And in addition to that, the social and emotional problems that we've seen our children suffer because of the COVID pandemic. That should be the priority of these teachers. No kidding.
On 38, if he's located, they just want the IV, send him back to the hospital if he has an IV in.
Sure. Feel if they may. Guessing that's not gonna happen. I'll give it a shot.
Absolutely not. They're essentially the same thing. They're completely locked in by the teachers and as we saw this, of course, when they were trying to get teachers back to school, back to work, and they refused after a number of things were given to them to accommodate the school safety, the vaccine, and they refused to go back to school. So Dr. Joe Biden, who of course is a community college teacher, she is very cozy with the teachers unions, and as the students are saying, they don't want any kind of choice because they want a monopoly of the thoughts and the minds of our children. Because we look at the ideology of the left, and that's where it started in the 1960s and beyond. You know, Bill Ayers, who now is the professor, I believe, at the University of Chicago, made this argument that the state has a responsibility to take parents out of the equation so that they can indoctrinate them to be citizens of the state, not, you know, family members of the community or
Okay, Kelly, I'm saying something changed when I call you on Facebook. Oh, yeah, tweet. He's been moved on. I'll never report for documentation on that. Thanks, sir.
Hundreds and hundreds of Americans are still trapped, hopelessly abandoned by Joe behind enemy lines. And ask yourself this question tonight. If it was you or someone you love, care about, if they were abandoned by a president of the United States behind enemy lines, hostage to the whims of terrorists, would you want your president and your country to move on and call the states and say, oh, you're on your own, because that's what the state department has up on their website. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, on this show, we're not moving on. We may cover other stories, but we'll never move on until every American is home safely. Every day that goes by, the risk gets higher and higher. The terrorists will tolerate and not to keep in their word. Our legislators, Joe Biden, he will be president. And they're back there going door to door as we speak, executing anyone and everyone that they know that worked in the United States in the last 20 years. Congressman Michael Walk said that Afghanistan is about to make 1979 in Tehran, 52 hostages, 444 days, look like a seaboard. It's that bad. Sadly, I agree with the congressman, and I pray that God will go wrong. But Joe Biden, he can't seem to find it. Some of my colleagues in Washington are trying to spin it otherwise, but this one's unspelled. Success, an extraordinary success, the right decision that they made, and they stand by it. They still don't know.
Hey, guy, 54.
Americans are actually trapped in Afghanistan. I'm here yesterday. estimates as high
The
as
score.
maybe more. There's no plan whatsoever to get them out. There's no military help, there's no diplomatic help, and they're even saying you're on your own. Home State Department, we'll get to that in a minute. No extraction efforts. The State Department aren't telling people trapped behind enemy lines. Make contingency plans to leave when it's safe to do so. That do not rely on U.S. government assistance. If that's not American being abandoned, I don't know what is. Do not rely on the U.S. government for assistance. Keep that. Remember this 2 weeks ago, August the 19th, Biden proclaimed if there are any American citizens left, we're going to stay until we get them all out. That was just one of 6 major lies Biden told us about Afghanistan. The second lie, that was about our Afghan allied partners. On August 20th, Biden said, quote, we're making the same commitment to get out those Afghans who work alongside us. Now, there are thousands of our partners with no way out. Maybe as many as 10,000 plus, I'm told. In fact, a senior State Department official told Reuters News that the majority of Afghans who helped the United States did not make it out of Kabul. Even Biden's own Afghan interpreter had to help save his life from Afghanistan. He's hopelessly trapped in the country. Joe, you have one of those great ways to say thank you. You just listen to this former Afghan interpreter on Fox and Friends earlier today.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see if they can find a line resource to get out. And I'm working my best here as well to see if I can get them out, if not the US, because they made a promise and they're not kept it.
Yeah, now kept it to embarrass the whole country and put everyone in jeopardy. You also told me real quick, your assassination's going on right now, correct?
They are going to hold them. They're asking if they have them associated with the US troops or officers of the government or they have organized international special forces, and they will execute them right now.
Now this brings us to Joe Biden, line number 3. Not only did Biden promise to get our Afghan partners out, he also promised to extend this commitment to other vulnerable Afghans. Women, leaders, and journalists. According to the Washington Post, really beautiful Sean Hannity.
10-4 info box loaded, and I have a current owner address, both Dr. Curtin on Reed stations and registration. I am now headed to 12674 East 6 Mile Drive Grove Road to return the dog to their owner.
Sadly, she's not the only person running for her life according to the BBC tonight. Many of these former Afghan police officers and soldiers are now being hunted down and they're being killed. Line number 4 of Joe Biden, he claimed no parallels between this withdrawal and Vietnam. I guess that was only marginalized since this withdrawal is demonstrative.
Mark King, J. Caroline, San
Biden's promise to provide close air support to the Afghan army. Well, that's stopped after he abandoned the Ground Air Base in July, and actually, in truth, it stopped almost on day 1 that he became president, and that one thing alone emboldened the Taliban and allowed them to advance. Something they never tried with Donald Trump as president. The final lie, Biden claimed that, quote, the likelihood is going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely. Was it Defense Secretary Gates? He said he had Joe's been wrong on every foreign policy issue for 40 years. He's wrong again. At the same time, he was under those words.
Updated information, sir.
This was not an intelligence failure. Americans need to know the truth.
Check around, make sure there's nothing 1037 there.
With great emphasis on a daily basis. There's a reason the CIA pulled their people out 7 weeks ago. They're warning Joe Biden daily. Everyone warned Biden. Fight against the Taliban was not going well. And Joe did nothing. Instead of fighting back, no, he just expanded on the lie. The same month that he's telling we the American people that, oh, no, this is some of the best trained soldiers on the face of the earth, and they even have an air force in. And oh, they're incredible. That same month, he was encouraging the Afghan president
City Conference and 37 activity. Warfield House, Saturday University Avenue. It was a security, but he just wanted to know if to run a plate.
Third.
10 for video.
You abandoned hundreds of Americans. Those fellow Americans are trapped behind enemy lines, and that's right, hostage to the whims of radical extremists and terrorists. Thousands of Afghan partners, you signed their death certificates. They will be murdered. And now a growing and active threat from ISIS inside the country. And I guess cherry on top, Joe, Al-Qaeda is now on the rise again. That's right, the plot, plan, and scheme the next attack on our homeland. And to top that off, the Taliban is now in the process of fully utilizing the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in U.S. weaponry, Black Hawk helicopters, C-17s, 200 big aircraft, and drones that you left behind.
Can't go 39.
Now, some families of 9/11 victims,
Go.
this was pretty powerful. They're told by don't bother coming. You're not welcome. At the 20th anniversary,
Just for anyone for video.
taking place around the country because of what you did here, your weak leadership. The Biden administration, they're focusing on the real threat to the United States. Right-wing
Ran for.
groups inside the U.S. who were inspired by the Taliban. Can't make this up. It's that bad and worse. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox
We'll get up.
YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
I'm Tammy Bruce, and tonight the Biden administration is being exposed as rotten to its core, and is on the verge of an all-out implosion as they stare failure right in the face. And the walls are beginning to crack a bit, as some inside the administration are beginning to see the writing on the wall and the confession in a phone call to the former president of Afghanistan. First, as Biden continues to shift blame and tries to lie his way out of this disaster, at least one White House official is ripping off the veneer. Telling Politico they were, quote, appalled and literally horrified that President Biden left Americans stranded in Afghanistan, adding, quote, we have failed in that no-fail mission. Did you ever think in your lifetime you would witness an American president bragging about leaving Americans behind and defending the indefensible, choosing perceived political gain over the lives of Americans, choosing to create a new terror safe haven over safety and security, and choosing to actually spin for the Taliban instead of standing up for American allies? The tragedy unfolding in Afghanistan is a stark reminder of the deadly consequences of the left's woke agenda, where facts are also victims and hostages as they are sacrificed to false narratives and desperate and deadly lies. Consider Biden's now infamous conversation with the now former president of Afghanistan, Ghani, which legacy media continues to dismiss, ignore, or minimize. Now, we know he directly told Ghani to lie about the deteriorating conditions on the ground, but no one mentions what Ghani said to Biden about what was actually happening. He said, Mr. President, we are facing a full-scale invasion composed of Taliban, full Pakistani planning and logistical support, and at least 10 to 15,000 international terrorists, predominantly Pakistanis, thrown into this. So that dimension needs to be taken account of. Ghani also complained to Biden that, quote, your Air Force was extremely cautious in attacking them, referring to the Taliban as they swept through the country. So yes, it matters that Biden told Ghani to lie to change perceptions about what was happening. But what also this tells us is that Biden knew that the Taliban were on the offensive, and that there was international participation in that offensive, and that he had been told by Ghani it was so bad it was a full-scale invasion. This means Biden was lying to the American people, our allies, and even Congress when he said publicly multiple times that there was no expectation that the Afghan government was in trouble, or that there was any indication that the collapse would happen, or that the Taliban would take over the entire country. In other words, Biden was counseling Ghani to do what he was doing, which is lying about the situation on the ground to change perceptions. What was the goal? To get out on an arbitrary date so we could have a talking point about how great he is on September 11th. The truth did not matter. The lives of our troops did not matter. Of our interpreters, friends, and helpers. Of our allies.
Next 48.
Innocent Afghans who did not act to get out sooner.
Go ahead.
No one was telling them of
Morning.
the urgency. Their lives didn't matter either. We need to know what else was said on this call, because it led to the deaths of 13 American service members and condemned thousands more Afghan allies and other innocents to the death at the hands of the Taliban. Will the White House live up to their mantra of transparency? Don't count on it. Opponents will in July rather than being broken by the private diplomatic conversations or the transcripts of phone calls.
How about you?
Again, I'm not going to go into detail of the private conversation. So that's just a private conversation. Now, shouldn't the American people know what happened?